In this video, I'm reviewing the Glosser's Wash and Wax Microfiber Disposable Wipes. Now, let's get straight into it. What's going on? So glad you're here, and welcome back to the Wilson Auto Detailing community. If you are a professional auto detailer or just a car enthusiast who wants to improve your detailing ability, then definitely consider hitting that big red subscribe button right below this video. So this is an exciting video for me because this product right here that I'm reviewing is something that kind of represents to me the advancements that are being made in the auto detailing industry and kind of just the new ideas that get circulated. And in 2019, as we approach the new year, I am pumped about reviewing things like this. So just like you guys have on the interior of your cars, you have interior wipe downs, like Armor All has a lot of those, Meguiar's has a lot of those, and you have these disposable interior wipes where you can hit the dashboard, the steering wheel, all that sort of stuff to remove any surface dirt, grease, grime. Now what I'm looking at here is a wash and wax disposable wipe for the exterior that not only cleans the paint, but also protects the paint with a thin wax layer. Now, just so you guys know, this is from a company, it is actually from the same company from the Absorber, so many of you guys might use that towel to actually dry the car after you're done washing it, but again, this is the Glosser's Wash and Wax Microfiber Wipes. So first, before we start, I just want to read to you guys the directions, because with something like this, I think it's important to understand what the manufacturer says to do, so it's very simple. It says, for excessively dirty vehicles, make sure to wash and dry the car first. Now, I've actually already washed and dried this vehicle. Lift flap in the front, remove single wipe, use wipe in long straight lines, turn wipe frequently, use light pressure, do not use on the windshield, and wipe with a clean microfiber towel to remove any wax residue at the end. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is open up the flap on the front end here. I'm gonna take out one of these towels, and these are actually kind of like extra kind of big towels, so you guys can see how large they are. I'll try to lay it flat here just so you can see. This is a very, very large towel. Now what I'm gonna do is fold it kind of into fourths, so I'm just gonna fold it twice, basically once this way and then once this way. And what I'm gonna do is hold it just like this, put my hand very lightly onto the surface, and then go in straight lines. I'm just gonna do this small area right here and show you guys. I'm not gonna speed any of this up so you guys can see in live action, and I can kind of give you some of my notes as I'm using this. One thing that I'm noticing right off the bat that I think is actually a very powerful thing is that it's not over drenched in solution. So what I mean is, as I'm wiping it back and forth, there's not a ton of this wash and wax chemical that is on the paint. There's just a very, very thin layer. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it, put it on top here, and then I'm gonna take my microfiber towel, very lightly go ahead and wipe it up just like this. Now again, because it's not overly drenched or there's not too much solution, I'm not having to buff a lot off the paint or wipe a lot off the paint. Now my first notes as I'm looking at this is, number one, I think it's very correctly named when it says wash and wax, because it definitely leaves a glossy sort of feel on the surface. Now my inkling is that it's not going to leave a very heavy layer of wax, but again, I don't think that's really the point or the claims of this kind of product. They're not saying this is what you need to do to heavily protect your paint. Really what they're saying, and what I would consider this product great for, is for the detailer or the enthusiast who's doing last minute touch-ups, or for the enthusiast who just wants to quickly clean their car, and because they keep it cleaned on such a regular basis, it's easy to use a product like this because the car is not very dirty in the first place, and so not only is this gonna clean the dust off, it's also gonna go ahead and leave a layer of wax behind and layer of gloss. So let me go ahead and do the entire hood, and we'll come in and look at it afterwards. I'm gonna do this side first. Now, a couple other notes just about kind of the functionality of a product like this. Number one, I would not consider this a product that would be good for heavily soiled vehicles. However, once again, in the manufacturer's directions on this product, they actually say that. They say, if this car that you're dealing with is heavily soiled, do not use this product first. Make sure to wash it first. Now, as I'm doing this, I wanna show you guys, I'm not gonna wipe it up. I wanna show you how little product is on the surface. So you guys, I'm sure, cannot see any streaks in the camera. I cannot see any streaks in person, and I did not wipe this up with a microfiber towel. So what's amazing to me is that because almost it's like perfectly almost damp, or perfectly, there's like a perfect amount of chemical on it, I could literally do this and just walk away if I wanted to. Now, I would be breaking the rules, you know, on the manufacturer's directions by doing that, but even if I didn't want to kind of clean up with this microfiber, I would be fine to do that, specifically in this scenario. So check that out, let you guys see that in the sun. So you can see there's no streaking, but see that depth of gloss there? That's definitely an awesome shine left behind. So let me go ahead and do this side as well and a couple more notes. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it to a newer side here, and since I'm just gonna throw this away after I use it on the hood, I'll just go ahead and flip to the new side that hasn't been touched at all yet. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Now another thing I notice as I use this is how slick it comes across the paint. So I have to put very little pressure down for it to move. So I put very little pressure down to let it move, because whatever chemical is on here, whatever wash and wax kind of formulation they're using is very, very, very slick, which is obviously going to come in handy when I'm cleaning a car that hasn't been washed. So this has been washed, but one that has not been washed is going to need the chemical I use. I'm gonna be needing to use something with more lubricants in order to minimize scratching. That's part of the reason why I love something like Optimum No Rinse so much, is because I can minimize scratching at a very high level with a product like this because of the amount of lubricants that are in it. So as I'm doing this, I can feel the surface. There's absolutely no doubt that it's waxed, because you know that slick sort of feeling that you get when you have a waxed surface, and that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. So now I want to go ahead and check out this surface and give you guys a lot of different angles on the hood here, just so you guys can see how the light reflects in it differently. It's easier to see wax surfaces from different angles. So check that out. I don't think there's any denying that it looks fantastic. Now, just to reiterate, I did wash this car before I applied that wipe, and I think in most cases I would probably suggest doing that, just because you do risk scratching when you have any significant layer of dirt. But again, the instructions actually advise you to do that in the first place. So there you go. Looks very, very good. I'll pull back here in the garage so you guys can see that. And there you go. So as with many different types of products, I would say these are fantastic in their particular application. So would I say that a professional detailer has a huge use for these? I would think that a product like this is probably more geared towards the car enthusiast. However, for a professional detailer, I could definitely see them not only carrying this around in their own car to clean up their own car, but if you had this in your arsenal, before your customer comes out, you always want to go and take a last kind of look around the car and check your work. I could see this being something that I would want to have in my hand as I'm going around checking my work as sort of a final touch detailer. That would be a fantastic application. And then for the car enthusiast who just kind of wants to keep their paint in the best condition, you wash your car every week, you wax your car every 2 weeks, whatever it is, this would be a fantastic thing to keep in your glove box, because what happens when you get bird droppings on your car? What happens when you get water spots that you don't want on your car and you can't fix them right there? Well, if you have one of these in your glove box, you could easily pull it out, fix it right there, and go on your way. So again, I think these are definitely geared towards the car enthusiast. It's kind of a quick touch-up, would be an amazing application, but also I could definitely see washing the entire car, and then rather than having to buy a wax if you don't want to keep something like that in your garage, keeping something like this in your garage, folding it a little bit smaller, and I could see very easily how you could use 1 to 2 wipes to actually wax your entire car after you've washed it, and then of course you don't have to take up space with any products in your garage. You can just simply throw this away, and this is easy to kind of hide in different places. So as with most tools and products in the detailing world, these definitely have their place for the right customer, for the right buyer, for the right detailer. So if you want to check these out, I'm going to hook up all the information and a link to this product in the YouTube description box below. If you guys like this video, hit the thumbs up button, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hook up all that stuff in the YouTube comments below, because I always read those, and I'm sure to get back to you guys as fast as I can. And if you are new to the Wilson Auto Detailing community and you are a professional detailer or just a car enthusiast who wants to improve your detailing ability, then definitely consider subscribing. Once again, thank you all so much for being involved in this community, and as always from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video.